Well, good evening, Space and Engineering Academy. It's time for it's way past time actually, for our annual awards night. Sorry that it took us so long to get here. Who would have ever guessed a few months ago that we'd be live streaming to you on YouTube our Academy Awards night, but here we are, and we're going to make the best of it. I'm glad to have you join us, or join us later on by recording. I'm Mr. Mink. I'm the coordinator for the Space and Engineering Academy, and I've got a few people helping us out that we'll introduce as we go along. Really glad to be able to be finally doing this and recognizing some very deserving students. I want to start tonight by introducing our faculty and staff, just giving them a little recognition. We have a really great faculty and staff in the Space and Engineering Academy. These are teachers that do this. They don't get any extra compensation for this. They do this out of their love for science and engineering technology and their interest in helping out students like you. We have our counselor, Ms. Banchero, our Academy English teachers, Ms. Baker and Ms. Bynum, and Mr. Delaringa. We've got our Academy Secretary, Mrs. Borges. We have our Academy Science teachers, Ms. Hout and Ms. Stewart and Ms. Shade and me, Mr. Ming. And we have Ms. Evans, our math teacher, AP Computer Science teacher, and Ms. Riddle. We always like to give a shout out to her. She's our registrar now, but at one time she was our Academy Secretary and still near and dear to our hearts. So that's our Academy faculty. Next time you see them, be sure to let them know how much you appreciate them, or leave comments in the chat, since we got a chat running here. Okay, so before we get to the actual Academy Awards, we have some awards we want to give out, or not awards to give out, but recognitions we want to make. Our Academy students are involved in a lot of other things besides the Space and Engineering Academy, and when they do well in other things, we want to let people know about that as well. We had several Academy students that participated in the academic decathlon. The academic decathlon team got third overall. They were able to get their competition in before the shutdown. And I wanted to just recognize those students: Adil Abdul Rahman, Mark Fernandez, Manaswini Kala, Manjot Kaur, Abraham Sanchez, Caden Solomon, and Nevaeh Thompson. We also have students that, a lot of Academy students that participate in the Robotics Club. Technically the Robotics Club is just a part of West High as a whole, but 99% of the students in the club are also Space and Engineering Academy students. We had a really good year this year. We had 4 teams qualify for the state championships. That's the first time we've ever had 4 teams qualify for the state championships. Robotics Team Gamma, they were tournament champs for a tournament we host here at West High. That's Qudsi Al-Jabri, Pranav Banaru, Jamie Farron, Lasya Gadamseti, Philip Ha, Wenton Lau, Brandon Lindner, and Dalton Young. In addition, Robotics Team Sigma were champions of the league that they played in Stockton. Charles Baker, Jacob Borges, Eduardo Divinas, Tony Lee, Carlos Martinez, David Millett, and Fernanda Tapia. And another robotics team also qualified for state by earning a design award. That's where they keep an engineering notebook the whole year long about all of the different things they've done with their robot and competitions they've been in. And they also had to interview with judges, and they won a design award. And that's Sydney Macon, Jordan Mangskow, Kim Thatch, and Nevaeh Thompson. And yet another robotics team qualified for state with the Excellence Award. Earning the Excellence Award is kind of an award for doing well in a variety of different aspects of a league or tournament. And that was Zoran Asalar, Daniel Grover, Kenny Hahn, Isa Haswari, Benny Marenko, Janice Sabrodo, Matthew Tanaka, and Ayush Thakur. Now, besides robotics and academic decathlon, every year the Keller, or Lawrence Livermore Labs, gives a scholarship to one graduating senior from West High. Not necessarily Space and Engineering Academy, although again we seem to have more Keller scholars than just about anybody else, and this year was an Academy student, Jacob Borges. And as if that weren't enough, not only did we win the Keller Scholarship, we also had the valedictorians. We at West High had two co-valedictorians this year, both members of the Space and Engineering Academy, Adil Abdul Rahman and Amrutha Khaled. We watched the graduation ceremony on Saturday. They gave speeches there, and we're really proud of them and all of these students that have earned awards. Now we're going to actually get into the Academy Awards. I want to start off the Academy Awards by recognizing our student officers. We had a really great team of student officers this year. They rolled with the punches of COVID-19, put on some great events before the shutdown, and even more great events after the shutdown. We did, 3 different virtual events that went really well. And so I just want to recognize them and thank them for their service. 3 of them have graduated, so hopefully Samani runs for office again, but we've got some openings. If you're interested in becoming an officer, we will be doing elections, virtual elections, probably later this month, and watch for information about that being come out. But let me introduce to you our president, Philip Ha, and our vice presidents, Charles Baker, Samani Dash, and Dalton Young. Now I'm going to turn it over to our president, Philip Ha, who's going to present the Block W Awards patches and pins. Philip.
Hello everyone, my name is Philip Ha. You know me as president, you know. So for the SEA Block W patch, you need 2 consecutive years with GPAs of 3.25 or higher and no grade less than SE. You also need participation in 4 academy activities in order to get this Block W. For our SEA Block W patch, we have David Akoma, Ariba Arif, Victor Buzz, Ashley Chan, Christopher Chu, Seymour Cornell, Joel Enriquez, and Danny Grover. We also have Manasvini Kala, Manjot Kaur, Lily Millar, Janice Sabrodo, Matthew Tanaka, Nevaeh Thompson, and Paula Vialta Valle. For the SEA Block W pin, you also need 1 additional year with GPAs of 3.25 or higher and no grade less than a C. You also need participation in 2 academy activities. For the SEA Block W pin, we have Erin Anchetta, Christine Angeles, Samani Dash, Jordan Mangskow, Fernanda Tapia, and Jace Thorburn. For the SEA Community Service pin, we need 40 additional hours of community service beyond graduation requirements. And for this pin, we have Christine Angeles, who has earned 2 pins, Pranav Banuru, who has earned 1 pin, Regina Bernal, who has earned 2 pins, Zuriel Bitak, who has earned 5 pins, Lasia Gadamseti, who has earned 1 pin, and Brandon Lindner, who has earned 1 pin, as well as Anthony Nguyen, who has earned 1 pin. And now I pass on the mic to Mrs. Shade, our SEA physics teacher. Sorry about that.
It's hard because he wanted to say engineering 1, but it's not engineering 1 anymore, it's SEA physics. Alright, our undergraduate awards are 9th to 11th graders, and they're selected by students and teachers. And they're named in honor of famous people in the STEM Academy, and all puns are intended. Alright, first award is the Louis Pasteur Award for being organized down to the microscopic level. Pasteur, of course, discovered the bacteria that spoils milk. We have Jonathan A., Ashley Chan, and Lily Millar. Alright, next up we have the Joseph Lister Award for being the neatest and cleanest. Lister developed ways to keep hospitals clean. We have Aram Ali, Janice Sobroto, and Kyle Wu. Next up we have the Charles Darwin Award for changing the most in a year's time. Darwin made the theory of evolution. We have Rebecca Cardona, Peter Montero, and Victor Buzz. Next up, we have the Gregor Mendel Award for having science built into his or her genes. Mendel started the field of genetics. We have Julian Jaffouf, Monsivini Kala, and Nevaeh Thompson. Next up, we have the Anton Lavoisier Award for always knowing what he or she is doing during labs. Lavoisier developed the metric system. We have Eric Sonder, Christopher Chu, and Aria Jacinto. Sorry, thank you. All right, the Marie Curie Award for having a glowing personality. Curie discovered several radioactive elements. Tamana Esmat, Chanel Page, and Juan Diaz. Next up is the Robert Boyle Award for holding up a well under pressure. Boyle found how gas pressure affects volume. We have Christian Roundy, Benicio Marenco, and Samani Dash. Also, we have the Alfred Nobel Award for being a dynamite student and friend. Nobel was the inventor of dynamite. We have Evan Pinedo, sorry, Emil Gill, and Sidney Mickett. Next up is the Michael Faraday Award for generating creative project ideas. Faraday discovered how to generate electricity. We have Han Tracine, Manuel Perez, and Matthew Leung. Next is the Ben Franklin Award for getting a charge out of warming. Franklin discovered the charges in electricity. We have Rucha Thadi, Joel Enriquez, and Miriam Powell. Alright, the Gustav Eiffel Award for towering achievements in SEA classes. Eiffel designed the Eiffel Tower. We have Fernando Zepeda, Daniel Grover, and Ian Lee. All right. The Rube Goldberg Award for developing complex projects. Goldberg made complex machines for simple tasks. Jake Leo, Seymour Cornell, Eduardo Godinez. All right, the Steve Wozniak Award for quietly helping his or her team succeed. Wozniak was the less-known Apple founder. We have Lorraine Benavides, Kenny Hahn, Ruben Villanueva. All right, the Linus Torvalds Award for freely helping anyone who needs it. Torvald invented the free Linus OS. We have Kim Thatch, Zoran ACR, and Jasmine Cochise. The Hedy Lamarr Award for having an underappreciated intelligence. Lamarr was an actress who invented Wi-Fi. Christopher Rodriguez Zanuto, Shamara Mui, and Carlos Martinez. The Michael Crichton Award for taking a bite out of reading and writing. Crichton wrote Jurassic Park. We have Sydney Garcia, Rita Reyes, and Courtney Cunningham. Back to Mr. Main.
This one. Thank you, Mrs. Shade. It's my pleasure to introduce the Students of the Year. Each year we choose 2 students from each grade level as Students of the Year, and what we look for in a Student of the Year is a high GPA, no grades less than a C, so they're not on probation, and students who are active in the SEA. That means they participate in our monthly academy activities and field trips and things like that, and teacher recommendations. So each year the academy staff, the teachers get together and we review the students, and teachers share their experiences with those students. So it's a combination of all those things. These are the students that we think best exemplify the Space and Engineering Academy as students and as members of the Academy. Our freshman students of the year this year are Travis Ha and Kim Thatch. Our sophomores, Mansi Kala and Matthew Tanaka. Our juniors, Samani Dash and Matthew Leone. And our seniors, Jamie Farron and Fernanda Tapia. In addition to getting a certificate, all of our award winners, so all of the undergraduate award winners and our students of the year will all get a certificate. In addition, we have a perpetual plaque in H6 that has the names of every student of the year since we started this, and they'll get their names added to that plaque. I want to now talk a little bit about our seniors. We did senior projects this year. That was fun time. The senior project is a long-term project. Seniors do it in teams of 4. It's designed to provide a lasting contribution to a charitable organization. So they're trying to do something that benefits a school or a charity like McHenry House or the Interfaith Ministries, those sorts of things, or a church, any kind of charitable organization. I'm not going to show you all of this or mention all the senior projects here, but at the end of the program we'll have a little video that'll show pictures of all the senior projects. We've been doing this for several years. We've got a lot of senior projects out in the community, and we're really proud of what our Academy students have done for us. It's a little bit of work to get there, though. They have to design a project, get it approved, they create a proposal, they have to get the project approved before they start, then they have to actually do the project, has to be inspected by an Academy staff member and pass inspection, and then they have to do a formal presentation to a panel of Academy staff and administrators, and they're evaluated on that as well. And so in terms of, we like to give an award for the best senior projects every year, and it's based on the challenge, the amount of an engineering challenge it was for them, the quality of the work that they did, the time they put into it, how well they met deadlines. There are several reports they have to do and other deadlines, inspection deadlines and things like that they have to meet. We evaluate them on how well they work together as a team, and then how their formal presentation, we evaluated that as well. And so these projects that I'm about to tell you are the projects that were the best in all of those qualities overall. In second place, we actually had a tie. Our first tie of second place was the team that built a pergola for Southwinds Church, as you can see here, and that was Landon Bryant, Salvador Morales, Musa Wahab, and Daniel Cepeda. The other team that tied for second place was the team that made a book and toy shelf for EA Family Services, Arlene Callan, Amrutha Calais, Arsimran Kaur, and Ria Ramankani. Really good projects. First place was a portable wardrobe rack for the West High School Choir, made by Christine Angelis, Jordan Magskow, Jasmine Perez, and Fernanda Tapia. All of our teams. I wish we could give awards to all 15, but these were the three that, if you consider all of those categories, did the best. Now we're going to have a speech from our outgoing president, Philip Pop.
All right, what's up, Academy? It's been quite a while since I've seen you all, but I hope you're staying safe, happy, and healthy. Where do I even begin? I mean, so much has happened since we last seen each other that it's hard to believe we've only been gone for about 144 days, 18 hours, and approximately 40 minutes. But who's counting? But this quarantine has given me a lot of time to think back and reflect on the school year that we spent together. From playing board games at an ice cream social on Sugar Highs, to prematurely slamming down on our buzzers during Quiz Bowl, to watching Charles bake snickerdoodles in a Bob Ross costume during his baking show, I'd say we did pretty well. We even broke a few records this year. 5 of our robotics teams qualified for state championships, which hasn't happened in several years. We also have the most SEA graduates this year, and with that, the largest batch of SEA graduates with honors, which is amazing considering how long the Academy has existed. Congratulations to everyone who made those records possible. Now, as I was writing this speech, I realized that this might be the last time I actually get to talk to all of you as president. So instead of writing a really sappy farewell speech, I wanted to give some advice to each of the classes based on my experience in the Academy. To the rising sophomores, just know that Engineering 2 will probably be one of your hardest classes. Miss Hout may seem really strict and mean at times, but if you find yourself on her good side, she'll be the sweetest and most straightforward person you'll ever know. All you have to do is study for her class, pay attention to her lectures, and make her job just a little bit easier by making her smile or laugh. Easy as that. To the rising juniors, let me just say that Engineering 3 is one of the most hands-on classes you'll have this year. Although I don't know how Mr. Mink will adapt to distance learning. Either way, I've noticed a lot of students are somewhat intimidated by Mr. Mink and are scared to talk to him or even ask questions during class. There will be a lot of times where you and your partner will be working and Mr. Mink will be tippy-tapping on his laptop during Engineering 3. Trust me when I say that this is probably one of the best times to get to know him, so try to strike up a conversation with him while you can. You'll soon realize that he's probably one of the most interesting teachers you'll meet in your 4 years of high school, and that he's not as serious all the time like you thought he was. To my rising seniors, I have lots of important things to tell you. First of all, start your college apps as soon as possible, but take time writing your essay. Write chunks at a time and take break days in between so that you don't fry your brain. Make sure that you ask both teachers and students to help you edit your writing, but keep your writing style true to yourself without overthinking every little detail. For your senior project, pick people you can work with, start as soon as you can, make sure everyone's doing equal amounts of work, double check that you have enough money to complete the project, and if you're working with electronics, prepare in advance so that you know exactly what you're doing before you slap everything together, or else nothing will go as planned. But the main piece of advice I can give you right now is to live your senior year to the fullest. As you can see from the class of 2020, you never know what day of school will be your last. Take it from my experience. Even though I graduated, I still haven't attended a single school dance, stayed out past 10 o'clock at football games, or even gone on adventures with my friends. I pretty much stayed at home studying my butt off in hopes that all my hard work would pay off with prom, grad night, and all the senior events at the end of the year. Now I just regret not doing more when I had the chance. So please, if anything, make sure that you have the best senior year you can possibly have. And finally, to my graduates of 2020, it's not advice, but pride that I have for you guys. I don't know what lies ahead at this point, but I do know we're all ready for it no matter what happens. It's a high school cliche to say this, but we made it. We survived high school and the academy, and now we're on to a new chapter in our lives. And although this is where we part ways, we'll always have the SAA family to look back on. Let us never forget our boot camp stories, our cringy freshman phases, our glow-ups, Mr. Mink T-posing, Mrs. Bynum dabbing, Caleb rockets landing on solar panels, Mr. Mink shouting, "Hey people," to get our attention, Thanos Mink, Chili's, 75-cent tacos, karaoke, senior project mishaps, and of course, all of our lovely SDA teachers, including Mr. Callahan, aka MC Delta T. So thank you for everything, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you, Philip. We now come to the moment where we introduce. This is kind of anticlimactic since you've already seen them if you watched the graduation. Did we lock up? No. Okay. Since you watched graduation, if you watched graduation Saturday, you know this. But I still want to take a moment to recognize them here. All of our Academy graduates have received a medal and a sash. They'll also be, they have a special seal on their diploma. Their pictures will be added to the walls in H6, and they will be added to the webpage. Their actually names are on the webpage, pictures to soon be added. To be an SEA graduate, these students have gone way beyond what it takes to be a West High graduate. They did a 4-year plan that included at least 4 years of math and at least 5 years of science. Most of them have done even more than that. Some have done as many as 7 or 8 years of science. They've exceeded or met college entrance requirements. They've had to do career interest surveys. They've had to do college surveys. They've had to do resumes, mock interviews, community service, 40 hours of community service. Those ones you saw that got the community service pins, Zurio, 5 pins. That means every pin is 40 hours. So he did 200 hours of community service beyond what he needed to do for graduation. Job shadowing, the ASVAB, and of course the senior service project. All of these things go into being an Academy graduate. So here they are. In the technology pathway, our Space and Engineering Academy graduates, Vincent Ballard and Nico Williams. In the engineering pathway, there's going to be several slides of this group. Kudzi Al-Jabri, Carlos Benitez, Regino Bernal, Reyes, Zurio Bitak, Landon Bryant, and Eris Coverdale. And more to come. Dante Garcia, Miranda Hagaki, Arlene Talon, Chase McClung, Irwa Mir, Salvador Morales Larios, Jasmine Perez, Daniel Reynoso Sanchez, Elliot Rizzo Franco, Tavi Sharma, Ricardo Tuzpara, and Theodore Williams. Those are all our Space and Engineering Academy graduates. Then we're not done because there are graduates with honors. The graduates with honors met all the requirements the graduates did, but in addition, they had a 3.5 or better GPA for the whole 4 years, and they had to get 4 teacher recommendations. So here they are, 6 at a time. There we go. Back one. Scroll up. Our first 6 honors graduates, Hadil Abdul Rahman, Brandon Alipio, Katrina Amistad, Aaron Ancheta, Christine Angelis, and Charles Baker. Give it applause. Our next 6, Pranav Banuru, Jacob Borges, Kenneth Collins, Jamie Farron, Lasia Gadamsetti, and Lali Garcia. Six more, Hannah Green, Philip Ha, Amrutha Kalei, Akshara Kapadni, Arsimran Kaur, and Tony Lee. But wait, there's more. Wenton Lau, Brandon Lindner, Saher Malik, Jordan Mangskow, Brianna Mendez, and David Millett. Anthony Nguyen, Caitlin O'Neill, Ria Ramankutty, Noel Sianapar, Fernanda Tapia, Sneha Klakaram, and last but certainly not least, Apologize if it's lagging a little. We'll applaud them, then I'll read their names. Jace Thorburn, Dalton Young, and Daniel Zepeda. Now, for all of those awards, and we're not quite done, so don't log off yet. But I wanted to tell you, if you got an award this evening, you can come pick up your awards. Tomorrow through Friday is textbook pickup for those of you that are still students here at West High. You need to come in and pick up your textbooks. Seniors on Tuesday, tomorrow, juniors on Wednesday, sophomores on Thursday, freshmen on Friday, and by alphabet, so it's listed there what time you come depending on your last name. But while you're out picking up your textbooks, Mrs. Borges will have a table set up in the same area. Stop by and see her, and she'll give you the awards that you've earned. And if you're in engineering design, juniors, academy juniors, or product design, some of you seniors, see Mrs. Borges. She's got a notebook to give you too. So, don't click again yet. I just want to say we're going to wrap things up here with a video. This is a video of our seniors. It'll show you their senior projects, and it'll also show you what they looked like 4 years ago when they started out this adventure in the Space and Engineering Academy in Engineering 1, which we now call SEA Physics. It was Engineering 1 back then. So we'll see that in a moment. I just want to say again that I wish we could have done this in person, but I'm really proud of every one of you that's won an award and of all of our graduates, and I congratulate you and I really wish you well, especially those of you that graduated. Please, when all the restrictions lift and you're able to get around, please stop by and say hi. Be glad to see you again and hear how you're doing. Those of you that are starting school again, if you haven't heard, it's all distance learning. You need to come pick up your textbooks this week, and then we'll be on Microsoft Teams next Tuesday, first day of school.